carrying the X-5 nuclear warhead. Gotcha. Yesterday, reliable sources informed us it's made its way to U.S. soil.
I'm going to turn Washington, D.C. into a pile of ash.
It's a very tall order. We need the best. Get me Macgruber.
I'm in.
What?
I'm in.
He's in.
All right, with 16 Purple Hearts, 3 Congressional Medals of Honor, 7 Presidential Medals for Bravery, and 1 current lawsuit that's trying to stop this movie being shown, it is Macgruber. How you going, Wammo?
G'day there, Lyndon. How are you?
Oh, good. We're starting with the controversial film Macgruber, which is controversial because someone might have noticed straight away that Macgruber there, a guy called Will Forte, looks a lot like Richard Dean Anderson. From MacGyver.
MacGruber. I see the link.
Macgruber. This is a trailer which is due out here about April next year at the movies. But it's a good trailer. It's a 2.5 minute long trailer that's worth watching because you don't necessarily need to watch the film afterwards.
Right.
2.5 minutes. It's got all the best bits in it. But the thing about it that gives it this, the reason I thought I'd start with it is because there's a guy called Lee Zlotoff, which is, I see a bad guy when I hear a name like Zlotoff. But a guy called Lee Zlotoff owns the rights to the MacGyver series, and he's trying to get this stopped from being shown. He's apparently written some quite strong letters to the producers of Macgruber, starring Will Forte, who started doing Macgruber as a Saturday Night Live stand-up comedy experience, which is part of the impressions he does, lots of impressions. But he was offered to take Macgruber onto the big screen, and you couldn't say no. So he's it's being made, and they're trying to stop it from coming out because apparently it doesn't really give a lot of respect to the legend of MacGyver. He's the idea being that Macgruber is like a guy with all of these awards, the biggest bungling hero ever kind of thing, and but basically he's a bad guy, steals a nuclear missile. That bad guy is Val Kilmer. He's back. Macgruber then puts a crack team of American heroes who are all pretty shonky, and then tries to stop the baddies from blowing up the White House. I hope they fail, but they probably don't. And I imagine Lee Zlotoff will fail as he tries to get the film stopped. But it's a good place to start because it was in the news. And as a trailer, it made me laugh. I laughed quite a bit. I've watched it a couple of times. I don't imagine if once you've watched it, you'll need to watch the film itself when it comes out. It's one of those your funny trailers where all the funny bits are compressed into 2.5 minutes, and that's it. That's great. That's my attention span sorted. Let's move on to another one.
Rise and rise again till lambs become lions.
Coming. Okay. Now this trailer here. This one was released yesterday for the Super Bowl, and it showed in the middle of the Super Bowl, and it says there it's the story behind the legend, the hero behind the outlaw, from Ridley Scott, who made Gladiators and Aliens, and starring Russell Crowe, Kate Blanchett, and William Hurt. This is the Dark Hood, or Robin Hood.
No, they're not doing
Dark.
Robin Hood again, Lyndon.
Yeah, this is what I thought. I thought, no, don't do Robin Hood again. Last time I saw Robin Hood, it was Kevin Costner and Bryan Adams singing, "Everything I do it for you," and Kevin Costner prancing around like an absolute prick. And it was one of the worst films that was had ever been made. But this one, this is like Master and Commander and Gladiator and Aliens and Sherwood Forest, except I saw no tights, no feathers. I saw, there was none of that. There was just no Friar Tuck and his merry men or fights on the bridge with a stick. It's just hardcore slow. There's a lot of stuff on the beach with swords and water and stuff, and this sports rock going in the background that's sort of like Bad King John turns up, and he's got that, as he should have, a really well-defined beard.
Yeah.
Like a really black beard. Made me want to go out and dye mine. I'll have that sorted for next week. Move on to the next one.
You're listening to Trailer Reviews with Lyndon Puffin. Next one, Crazy Heart.
What's your real name?
I'm Bad Blake. My tombstone will have my real name on it. Until then, I'm just gonna stay bad.
Your heart's on the loose. You roll
yeah.
sevens with nothing
To lose. I like.
Life, unfortunately.
Rightio. Okay. You've probably seen this. There it said performance of a lifetime, just as we were fading there. Performance of a lifetime. He's just been nominated for an Oscar, and he is Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges, known to most of us as the Big Lebowski, but in this movie he is Bad Blake. Bad Blake is like a mythical mashup of Chris Christopherson and Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and maybe even the acoustic version of The Boss, a guy who battles with booze and depression and writes great songs, but he's down on his luck. And this could be real crap. A story like that, you know, could be pretty bad, but I don't know. This is my second most watched trailer, Whams. The first time I watched it, I nearly cried. I mean, I also am a dubious country singer at times, but it's a beautiful trailer. Maggie Gyllenhaal is there, sort of, you know, and she looks right, and he looks absolutely like Chris Christopherson. He's got a beard, and the best bit about it is he wrote the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Lebowski wrote the songs and has actually been a musician all his life. So he plays everything. He didn't have to sort of learn to be a musician. He was a musician, and
he's the dude.
And yes,
he's the dude.
He is the dude. Yeah. So and it looks great. I think the thing about it is, you know, when you make a movie about someone like say the ones that have been made recently, Johnny Cash or Ray Charles, you've got a story that everybody already knows. You've just got to put it to pictures. You haven't got that story with Chris Christopherson or Waylon Jennings or Willie Nelson. They're not quite at that place, I guess. So this is sort of like you've made a mashup of all of them into one, really. That old kind of country outlaw, which has been replaced by Garth Brooks and more recently Kenny Chesney, for the sad people amongst you who know who I'm talking about. It's what country music used to embody, and hopefully one day will embody again. And it looks really beautiful. And I kind of cried the first time I saw it. And it's such a great trailer that I'm saying it's my second most current watched trailer this year, and I'm giving it 5 out of 5 because I won't be missing the film. It made me kind of connected to it in 2 minutes flat. 1 minute and 58 seconds, I was like, I'm going to this film. Okay. I'm going to this film. This is moving.
Finally, from that to something completely different.
Okay, something completely different to the most watched trailer so far this year. She has touched the hearts of millions. She's the highest ever selling female artist. She really takes away the idea of there being any hope for the world. She is Celine Dion. I hear you guys listening. A lot of Celine Dion fans listening to Kiwi this morning. But this is an amazing journey that we go on with Celine. Her huge 2008 world tour. This follows around here. You get front row seats. You get backstage passes. You even get to watch her meditating in white leather seats in a Learjet 40,000 feet up as she goes to Africa to sing to the poor black kids, which is so many stunning scenes of completely dry, ironical rubbish in this trailer that it's. I have a thing called the Hubrometer, which we'll get going, which is like where it's a hubris meter, and it really is peaking out on this one here. The trailer basically embodies everything that is wrong with the music industry and just the entertainment industry, and the hope that it just will completely fall over and die and be replaced by file sharing. This really is what it's about. She's got some great quotes in here. If you follow your dreams, you can't go wrong, she says. And I'd just like to point out there that plenty of people have followed their dreams and have been very wrong. Pol Pot, Hitler, Stalin, just to name a few, you know, George Bush. And she also finishes with where she says, "Thank you for allowing us to share love with the world." It really is absolutely awful, but I've given it 0 out of 5, or I've given it 5 to the power of -5 over 5. But it is just, I've watched it more than anything else because it makes me laugh with hilarity. I just hope it never gets released here. I hope New Zealand's better than that. But for any Celine fans who happen to be listening to Kiwi, sorry, but you know, the truth hurts. So let's go out on that. And thank you for allowing me to share love with the world this morning, Wammo. And Trailer Sailor will be back next Tuesday with a new horde of films that will be coming somewhere in the near future. Oh, by the way, Crazy Heart opens in 2 weeks too. I should say that. But let's go out with Celine. It's very powerful. People having their breakfast right now or at work or whatever will probably have to stop and take a little look at themselves when they see what she's capable of.
Thanks, Lyndon Puffin.
Kia ora.
Because you love me. Because is here, my son is here, my husband is here. It's very, very powerful.
Thank you so very much to all of you for allowing us to share love with the world.